What's up, everyone? We're back for Sports Talk. This is the NFL edition, and we got Cavi on the phone.
Hello, hello.
So we'll quick run through last week's bets and stuff that we had. I was at totaling it up. So, like, if you would have followed our picks, this is like a general average. I think we were right around. Most of us had about 20 picks. I think you had the least amount. I think you were down at like 19. I think I had like 21. I think Austin had like 25 picks or something like that. Austin went like 18 and then like what would it be? 18 and like 6, I
hmm
think it was, and then but all of us had really good like overall numbers. I was doing the math on it, and if we would have bet those in single games, we pretty much would have uh all profited about $50 if you would have threw like $5 on each of those.
Should have.
So hopefully we can do well this week. So
This
bets
week,
last week, Austin had a 5 leg parlay with Vikings minus 2.5, Chargers minus 5.5, which Vikings did not cover. Chargers covered. Cardinals covered money line. Browns minus 1.5 did not cover. And then Rams money line did not cover. So he went 2 for 5 on that set. So he's down 20. And then we got yours was Dolphins Rams, which neither one of those covered. So you're negative 20.
Rams lost.
Yeah, they did. And Dolphins losing to it did not help. I mean,
No.
and then mine was Titans money line, Cardinals money line, and Browns money line, and I did not hit because Browns did not cover. So we're all minus 20 so far. So for the main bet that we choose, did not go very good so far.
No.
Going into this week, tomorrow's game or today's game, depending on when you're listening. Colts versus Bucks. Or no, not Bucks, Broncos. -3 for Broncos. I really don't like either one on that. My personal opinion is I could see this being a low scoring game. And so I kind of am thinking about taking the under. But as for who's going to win, I just don't know.
Yeah, the Colts are just not playing the way they should this year. So it
Yeah.
definitely kind of scares me. They're 1-2-1. They tied to the Texans.
Yeah. And I believe
So
Jonathan Taylor might be out this game if I
he,
remember hearing that right.
he is out. Yeah. So
So that's going
I
to make it harder on them to score.
it really scares me. But this seems like it could be one of those games where it's like, oh, the Colts are gonna just somehow play well and somehow win. But if I had to take anything, I would probably take the Broncos spread at -3, but I'm probably staying away from that.
Yeah,
What do you say the over under was?
42 is what it's at right now. I'm kind of leaning taking the under because I could see this being a low scoring game.
Yeah, I might stay away from the over under on this game too. This last week a lot of overs hit, so that's what kind of scares me going into this week. But I'm gonna stay away as a whole. They just like so the Colts aren't looking good. Denver's not looking good.
Yeah, it's
But
definitely not as good for a primetime game being a Thursday night like that. It's definitely not as good as a matchup as what you normally get.
yeah, so it'll be interesting. I obviously probably will throw something down on it, but I'll wait till tomorrow before game time to figure what I'm gonna do for that.
Yeah, like right now, so average points scored per game is 14 for Colts and 16.5 for her. So you could be looking at like a 14. I see like a 14 to 17. It's kind of what I see type of game.
Yeah,
You know, and Bucks defense has only been allowing 17 points. So, that's why I could see it being that way too, is, only letting 2 touchdowns up and be able to kick a field goal late. So I don't see this being a high scoring game at all.
I don't either, but I think I see it over 42. I mean, it's just one of those like pretty much all my over unders is kind of like a gut feeling, and I feel like a lot of primetime games the unders hit, and this is just one of those where it's like everything leads towards the under, and so I'm gonna go with the over.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna stick with the under on this one. I might tease it up to give myself an extra 6 points or so it'll be 48 points, just make me feel a little bit better. But
Yeah, looks like pretty much all the money's split right now.
yeah, we'll go into Sunday's game. We got an early morning game over in London again, or wherever they exactly play over there. It's Giants versus Packers. Right now, Packers are favored by 8. I'm kind of surprised it's not more, just because of I don't know who's going to be quarterback for um
The Giants.
yeah, for the Giants. I heard they tried out AJ McCarron from Alabama, and who was the other guy they tried out? They tried someone else to do. That was
I don't remember. I just know that a couple quarterbacks got hurt, and Saquon was in there playing quarterback.
what someone was saying today in a different podcast I listened to that they should run the Wildcat with Saquon.
Yeah, they did that. And they probably will a little bit. I don't know if Daniel Jones is officially out, though, is he?
By the sounds of it, no, it looks like they have him questionable.
But if he plays, I mean, the Packers are winning games, but they're just not the same Packers team as.
Yeah, and that's why the over
They
under
have.
is at 40.5. Because I mean, looking at how much these teams score, it's 20 points basically, or just under 20 points. So
Yeah, but both of these teams average over 50 points per game for like over under. So
yeah,
I I literally like the over on this one.
I think so too. Just because it is so low and it's the NFL, and it's gonna be I know they're flying. So I mean, but look at the Vikings game that just happened over there. So I kind of like the over on this. I think I like that more than actually the spread.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from the spread until I know kind of what's going on. If I had to pick, I would pick the +8 for the Giants, just because I mean they are 3-1 team, and Green Bay's not the Green Bay we're kind of used to. Yeah, they're good, but not as good. They're still trying to figure out their receiving core. Obviously, their running backs are good.
Yeah,
And Giants are kind of the same way, but when you have Aaron Rodgers, it's hard to bet against him.
yeah, that's true. Moving on to 1 o'clock games, you got Lions versus Patriots. Right now, Patriots are favored by 3. I I want to take Lions on this, but I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to bet on the Lions. It has been forever, but I'm with you. I think I'm going to take the Lions here. I mean, I was at the game last Sunday, and their offenses, they were missing 3 of their best offensive players, and they still put up 40 points.
Yeah, I mean
So Jared
they
Goff is looking very good.
now
They're the number one offense in the NFL.
well the highest scoring. I think that's what they're number one in. But then and in Patriots, I mean Mac Jones is still out by the sounds of it. Sounds like they're gonna stick with that Zappo or Zippo or whatever the hell his name is. That came in and played when Hoyer wasn't playing well.
Yeah,
So
Patriots put up a fight against the Packers last week, so I mean they're still a decent team. They're not great, but
yeah,
Lions just have to figure out a little bit more on defense, and then they can start winning some games.
yeah, yeah. They just I mean you would think with having I know they're younger, but like Aiden Hutchinson and I don't know, like he just did not look like he was getting good pressure at all.
Hutchinson's not playing all that great.
So
Secondary is struggling, obviously. Okuda had a first few games that were pretty solid, but last week was not good. So
yeah. Now next game we're gonna look at is the Bills versus Steelers. This has probably been the biggest spread of the year. I think at 14 right now. Buffalo is favored over. They did announce that Pickett is gonna start for Steelers just to try to give some life to the team. But Bills are just they're like unstoppable. But at the same time, NFL is one of those one of those leagues where it seems to be normally within a 1 point or one possession. So you're talking 14 points would be a lot of points to cover.
oh yeah, 14 points. I mean, you probably have my button, but that's a lot of points
Yeah.
in the NFL, and we don't really know about too much about Pickett. And who knows? He could be the guy, and he could kind of prove everybody that he's ready to go in the NFL, and they have some good weapons. Obviously, Harris, they have Deontay Johnson, they still have Claypool. So I mean, they have decent weapons, and if he can just take care of the ball and do the things he did in college, who knows what can happen. But
Yeah.
the Bills, I mean, obviously are probably still the best team in the NFL, and they lost to the Dolphins and almost lost to the Ravens, but they pulled it out. So
Yeah.
it's
Did you
it's a
see
scary
the
one, but
Yeah, did you see the video someone played where like half of the towards the end there when Bills were driving, like half of the players was trying to let the running back like not tackle him, and then like one dude tackled him because they were just trying to let him score quick to give Lamar back the ball to try to go down and score it at the end.
I did not see that.
So yeah, there's a video where you see like you kind of look at like the linemen and they're like the defensive linemen, they're kind of like stand straight up and they're not like trying to like bust through. They're kind of just standing there. Or one like one of the linebackers like taps them but doesn't like jumps and like lets them by almost pretty much it looked like. And then it was like player or from the other side just comes and like runs and tackles them. And then like half of the linemen put their hands on their head, like just couldn't believe it. I'm like were they trying to let him score? And I think it sounded like, I mean, that wouldn't be bad because Lamar's going to be able to run down and score normally in the end like that. So I think they were
Right.
just trying to get it. So
Oh, that's interesting.
over under on this is 46.
I kind of like the under on this one.
That's where I was at with it. Is I think the under could hit. Yeah, because the only thing that would scare me is if Bills all of a sudden do go off, or if Pickett does do better than what they think or something. But I guess I'd go under right now, and I'd probably
I would go under.
I think I'm gonna go under with that, and then also under with the Broncos and Colts game, and maybe tease them both up just to give me some extra on it. A game that Tom Brady should win as long as his home life isn't bugging him too much. That's Buccaneers versus Falcons, and they're favored 9 points. I don't know if they're gonna cover that, but they should at least win.
Yeah, 9 points is a lot of points, especially for a division game. I mean, the Buccaneers has been very disappointing this year, and the Falcons showed some life last week, and they're both 2-2. They're leading tied for their division.
That's just crazy to me that they're tied for the division. I mean, I still think Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to get the win. I
agree.
I don't see them covering though. So like right now, I would have to take the points with Falcons.
Atlanta's literally like a Detroit Lions, where they're gonna be in every single game no matter what, but they're just not gonna pull out the win. So I really like +9 for Atlanta here.
I'll just keep adding this to my teaser because that takes them up to +15. So.
Oh yeah.
But
the only other scary thing is when are the Bucks actually going to figure it out, and it could be this week.
It could be. Right now, I say these teams. I mean, both teams put up decent points. The over under sitting at 48. Man, it's just if it was more like a 45 or 46, I would say over all day. But 48, I could see it being right at that number.
Yeah, I agree. 48 is kind of a scary number. I'm going to stay away from the over-under on this one.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I think I take the plus points, and again, I'm going to throw it in a teaser, so it's going to go up. Next game is Bears versus Vikings. Vikings are 7-point favorites. They're struggling with quarterback, too, ain't they?
The Bears?
Yeah.
No, I mean, Justin Fields has been playing, and it's just that team just has nobody and no weapons for him. I'm not saying he's playing out of his mind or playing even good. It's just they just don't have anybody. Montgomery went down.
Yeah.
So they're just really struggling. They're kind of in a whole rebuild, and they got to decide if they're going to build something around Justin Fields or not.
Yeah, I mean, I see this. I don't know if they cover that at 7, but I definitely see Vikings getting the win. I don't. It shocked me if Bears did win. I kind of like more looking at the over under, or a little bit more. That's at 44 right now. I mean, I'm on the side of them being over. The Vikings seem to be putting up points.
Yeah, this game I've bet on the Vikings spread like almost every week I think, and they've won every time I bet on them. They just barely miss covering. So this is another one where it's a division game. Still, teams are still trying to figure it out, and it's just going to be I think a 3 point to 5 point game. So I'm going to take Bears at +7, and I'm going to take the over as well.
Okay. I don't know. I just don't think Bears will cover. I think I'm going to take, again, I'm putting together a teaser for my bet at the end. So I think I'm going to take this -7, but tease it down to -1. Vikings get the win. So that's where I'm going to go with it. LA Chargers has to go to Cleveland Browns. Right now, Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. I'm kind of surprised. But actually, Herbert did look better this week. So I guess I'm not. I was thinking originally I was kind of surprised that they had Chargers favorite, but
Yeah, this game's scary as well. I mean, the Chargers were supposed to be top three team, and they're just kind of struggling. Granted, they have a hard schedule, but I just I just don't know. I don't know.
Chargers schedule really hasn't been that hard because I mean, or I guess the first couple games, Saints, which isn't that great, but then they did have the two like Raiders and Kansas City, but and then last two has been Jacksonville and Houston. So
Which Jacksonville's the one that stomped them,
yeah, 38-10. There was a
and
close,
Jacksonville's a pretty solid team.
yep, close game with um Kansas City. I mean, they were 27-24. They lost. Saints beat them 27-10.
The Saints are horrible,
Yeah. Well,
but I don't know.
that actually might have been a preseason game now that I'm looking at it.
I was
So,
gonna say I don't think they've played regular season, but
but
I granted they've been struggling. 2.5, not that much, and I don't think the Browns is all that great. So I would take the spread for the Chargers.
that's I want to go that way, but I'm just not 100% sure. I was kind of hoping to have plus points on Chargers side, honestly. Which the
Really?
ESPN matchup predictor only gives it a 50.3% chance to Chargers. So they're kind of with me. They have and Chargers has a couple of receivers. I know Keenan Allen's still questionable.
Yeah, but they have Eckler and Williams, and their offense is still fine without Keenan. It's just kind of their defense that scares me. But Amari Cooper had a horrible game last week, and if he has another bad game, and it's just the Browns' offense really isn't anything.
Yeah. I think I'm on the Brown side, honestly. I think I'm gonna
You
take.
might as well just take money line then.
Yeah, I think I will take money line on Browns. Didn't work for me last week, but we'll try it again this week. Over under, you touching that at all? That's at 47.5.
No, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, that's right where I see it. Going into Dolphins versus Jets. Right now, Dolphins are favored by 3. I think they haven't announced anything with Tua, really. I mean, with the hit he took,
No, he's out this game.
is he?
Yeah.
I don't see how he could come back in general. I mean, he's gonna need a month off, really, to recover.
Yeah, you see one of the doctors actually, the movie Concussion or
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Yep.
The guy who did all those studies, I guess said Tua should retire.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, because 2 back to back like that is like one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah, he said he should not be playing the rest of the season and he should just retire. He should be done.
Yeah, and I mean that. Well, they tell you that all the time that you should only have 2 concussions, and then after that you shouldn't play. Really, you should try to avoid head contact sports. So, with
But
Tua out though, do you think Dolphins can still cover and win, or
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater came in and did look pretty good. I mean, they still have the weapons. One thing Dolphins kind of need to do is they're 29th in rushing. They kind of need to. They kind of really need to establish the run game early against the Jets. I mean, the Jets' run defense is not that great, so they should. I mean, they're okay, but they should really establish the run game early. If they do that, it kind of opens things up for Teddy. Teddy's kind of more of a pocket passer now that he's since his injury, and they should be fine here. I mean, I wish it was more like 2.5, but
yeah,
for the spread. But
yeah,
it's scary because Zach Wilson's back, and he looked like he didn't take any steps back. He looked good last week. Granted, they played the Steelers, but
yeah, and
I don't know.
they're 2-2 on the season, but Jets haven't won a home game, so I don't know if that's gonna make them more hungry to try to win, or if they're just having bad luck at home.
I think just the Dolphins roster is still just too good for the Jets. The Jets will have a good game, so I'm gonna stay away from the spread, and I'm probably gonna take the over here.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
kind of
know.
a lot.
I think I take the -3 with Dolphins, and I stay away from over under because I see it being about a 24-21 or 24-17 type of game. So
Hmm.
I'll take Dolphins -3 and stick it. I'm gonna stay away from over under. Tennessee Titans play Commanders. Right now, Tennessee Titans are favored by 2.5. I really don't know how I want to go with this. Normally, last year I would have been all over Titans, but
Titans just beat the Colts. Granted, the Colts do suck, but I mean, Titans have a couple decent wins. I can't remember who they beat their first game, but I don't think it was a
the,
horrible team, was it?
no, they lost the first two. They lost to the Giants start to open the season, then they lost to Buffalo, who blew them out of the water,
Right, and
and
then they
then they beat Vegas Raiders and Colts last week.
so I mean the Raiders is a good win because they're still a good roster, but the Commanders are the worst team in the NFL in my opinion. So
Yeah, I think I got to go with, it looks like the last couple games Tennessee Titans have turned around. The first two games didn't go that good, but, turning around and now they're getting a little bit better, starting to get some stuff figured out.
yeah,
Oh,
I
so
mean they just really started using Derrick Henry in the last 2 weeks, like they have been the last 3-4 seasons. And once they do that, it really just it makes Tannehill actually an NFL quarterback because the dang play action and his guys being so much more open when Derrick Henry's playing well or the run game's established. So,
yeah.
um, but
So yeah,
yeah,
I'm on the 2.5 for Titans. That's where I'm going.
yeah, for sure. I'm surprised it's not more. This will probably be one of my picks for our thing, but
Over under, that's at 42.5. Are you liking the over on this, or are you staying away?
kind of scares me. I mean, both defenses passing bottom in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think Commanders are like 24th, and Titans passing defense is like 29th or 30th or something like that. So I think it's a good chance for maybe a lot of points scored. So I may take the over, but I may just stay away from that and just take the spread on this one.
Yeah, I'm staying away right now and just looking at the 2.5 for Titans. But going on to Texans versus Jags. Jags are favored by 7 right now. Oh, which Houston's by far the worst team in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, and Jags are coming off a tough game that they only lost by 8 to Philly.
And they were up like 14-0 or 21-0 or something. I think it was 14.
I think I like the Jags. I mean, I think I'd take the -7, but I think from again my bet, I'm throwing it in my teaser and to take it down to -1 just to make me feel a little bit better. And then as for the over under, I kind of like the over on this one at only 43.5.
Yeah, I really like the over. That's kind of what I was gonna say. Like the over. I
I
mean,
see Jags almost putting up 30 by themselves.
yeah, I agree. The Jags are a sneaky good team this year. If I had to choose anything, I would take the -7 for them as well. But I'm going to stay away from that just because, like we kind of say, anything over a one score game is scary in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I just kind of like the over here.
Yeah. So moving on, still 1 o'clock. This is the last 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Seahawks versus Saints. And Saints are favored by 5.5.
I just can't believe that.
I just I don't know how to feel
Saints are
about either one of
horrible.
these teams.
Saints are so bad. Andy Dalton did look okay against the Vikings, but and they kept it to a 4 point within a 4 point game.
Yeah, and I mean I don't know because I don't look at Denver being very good, and that's one win for Seahawks. Seahawks turned around and lost to Atlanta in week 3. They did just get a win, with the Lions, but that was a crazy Lions couldn't stop shit game.
See, I thought the Seahawks were horrible as well. Then watching them in person, it's like Geno Smith is good, and that offense is very good.
Yeah,
And
well,
I,
Penny was went off running wise, rush.
yeah, and obviously the Saints have a lot better defense than the Lions, but I just don't think. I think it's just going to be kind of an offensive battle again, and the Saints just don't have the offense to keep up. So I don't know. I kind of like Seahawks money line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I think I'm gonna take the points just for the security. Because
Yeah.
I seen this being more of a 3 point game, another Lions at the end type of thing. So
This one thing to look at is it is at the Saints, and it's kind of a must-win game for the Saints. The Saints lose this game without James Winston, they just might want to kind of tank the season.
yeah, so
So that's one thing to look at. But I like the Seahawks here. I'm not gonna go crazy on it, but
yeah, I think I like the +5.5 for Seahawks. I think they get it done, or keep it within a field goal. 4 o'clock.
I'm gonna stay away from the over/under.
Yeah, 46. Because again, that's another one where I see right about where that's going to be at. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games. The first one we'll start off with is the 49ers versus the Panthers. 49ers are favored by 6.5. Again, it's normally a one-score type of league, so I'm a little nervous about that. Can they get over though the 39 points?
Yeah. So since I'm gonna be doing this podcast, and I'm sure you'll probably be posting it to your YouTube, I'm just not gonna give away too much.
Okay.
But I would take 49ers -6.5, and I would take the over.
Okay.
I don't know what way you're leaning, but
I'm over the 39, and then
one crazy stat is I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it all tomorrow when I do it. But Matt Rule, as a head coach, is 1-25 when a team scored over 17 points.
wow.
So they have some major problems and they're horrible.
No.
But like I said, I'll talk about it all on a separate podcast.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboys versus Rams. Right now, Rams are favored by 5.5. I don't know what to make of the Rams. Like, Cowboys are actually been decent, and they're talking about Dak might be ready to come back next week. They were saying, and I'm like, why would you ruin the flow they have going right now? I know Dak's good and everything, but
Yeah, they can't.
why not?
Especially if they win this. I said they keep Cooper Rush playing this game. If they win, they got to keep him in. I mean, he's 4-0 as a starter.
I mean, you would think so.
3-0 this year. And like you said, the Rams is probably the worst offensive line. I wish I had like the actual ranking of offensive line. But they have to be. I mean, he got pressured like 9 times in the first half and sacked like 4 or something. So
Yeah.
it's just.
I think I'm going to have like a little 4 o'clock teaser. I'm going to take the Niners down to only a half a point, take the over or down to 33, And then in this game, I'm going to take Cowboys and take them up to plus be 11.5 and take, I kind of like to take the over on this down to 37. I see it
I
being,
do really like the over on this game.
yeah, me too. I like the over where it's at, but like I said, I'm thinking I'm gonna have my 1 o'clock teaser game, and then I'm gonna have my 4 o'clock teaser game. So
I'm gonna go crazy and go Dallas money line here.
it wouldn't shock me if they did it. They could be
They're playing.
the one money line dog, and definitely if you know your starting quarterbacks might be coming back, you're gonna want to prove that hey, I should be staying in.
Yeah.
So hopefully he doesn't get too greedy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Stafford's still playing okay. Just I don't know. Their team's just struggling right now.
Yeah. Then we got Eagles and Cardinals for the last 4 o'clock game. This should be a decent matchup. I'm staying away from the spread 5.5 because Kyler Murray, even though he's been super great this year, he could just go off. And I think I'm going to stay away because the over-under is at 49. That's just too high for me to try to go for an over. So I think I'm staying away from this game all around for me.
Yeah, this one scares me, but the Eagles are freaking good. I think they're the best team in the NFL. I think they have the best offensive line in the NFL, and the Cardinals front is pretty horrible. So,
well, Eagles
I think
did lose Dillard. That's on the offensive line, or he was the one of the offensive tackles, I believe. So he's going to be out. So that line is getting a little weaker. The one good thing
I did hear.
Eagles,
I heard that backup though was just as good, if not better.
Okay. They did do good with having Sanders run the ball a little bit more this last week,
I
so I did like seeing that.
They're just such a well-rounded team, and like we always say, they did so much in the offseason that their defense is a top-tier team, and the Cardinals are really struggling. D-Hop's still out, so it's just, they played Carolina last week, and they looked horrible against Carolina. Carolina is one of the worst teams in the NFL. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm surprised this line's not up to like 7. So I'm gonna kind of hammer the Eagles minus 5.5.
I think I'm just staying away from this game still. I say, could Eagles cover that? Yeah, honestly, it wouldn't shock me if they covered. But then again, if Cardinals all of a sudden put something together and kept it, close, wouldn't surprise me either. So, moving on to Sunday night's game, we got Bengals versus Ravens. Lamar's just been on fire. I think I got to take the -3. I know Bengals are getting a little bit better and stuff, but it's just going to be hard to stop Lamar in that offense.
Yeah, I don't know. This one scares me just because the Bengals are continue to improve. In the Ravens, I'm just worried they kind of played too well at the beginning and they're just going to struggle. But I would probably have to take the -3.5 or -3.
Yeah, -3 on the Ravens.
On the Ravens. I'll probably stay away from this game as a whole. This one scares me.
I think just to get some action in late night, I think I'm going to take the -3. Staying away from the over-under as much as I think they could hit over for both these teams because I think both teams can score. But makes me a little nervous when it starts getting up close to that 50 mark.
Yeah.
Then moving on to Monday night's game in Las Vegas, Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 7. Chiefs seem to be clicking on all cylinders right now. They're playing pretty good.
Yeah, they're playing very good. And
Raiders always seem to be one of those teams, though, that can give them fits every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. 7 seems like maybe a little bit of a lot.
I'm gonna stay away from this game too. I would probably take +7 for the Raiders, but I think the Chiefs are gonna win. So
that's where I'm at. And then the over/under's at 51. My head tells me to take the under just because 51's a lot of points, but these teams could do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm staying away from that too. Should be a good game for a Monday night game though.
Yeah. I'll have to play around a little bit. Maybe I do just like a teaser with taking Chiefs down to -1 and take the over under down to like 40. What would that be? 45. I think I like that. So might do something like that just to get a little action on the game because I like to put at least a little bit of money down to have it interesting. So, oh, but well, that's all the games this week. Yeah, we'll have to record tomorrow with the Lions podcast, and then you're doing your Panthers podcast. We'll kind of start doing those individual teams that we're fans of. I think I'm gonna try to do up a Bama one too. So, all right, gonna do our bets quick. I still got this recording. I didn't hit it stop yet. So, doing bets. My bet is gonna be a 6-point teaser on 6 different legs. So it takes it up to plus 600. So $5 to win 35. So get me back in the positive. Taking Steelers and Bills over under down to or up to under 46. Taking Colts and Broncos under up to, well, actually, no, it's 46, and then I got to add 6 points. So it'd be 52 for the Bills and Steelers game. Colts, Broncos up to 48. Falcons up to plus, that'd be 15. Vikings down to -1. Jags down to -1. And Jags and Texans over down to 30. What would that be? Because it's 43.5. Be like 36.5, I think. No, not that low. It'd be like 39.5. So that's mine.
Okay.
What do you got?
This is my last week that I'm doing a parlay. If it doesn't hit, I'm just gonna have to do single games until I'm even. But I'm doing Tennessee -2.5, Carolina Cardinals over 39, in the Seahawks +5.5. $5 to win 35.57.
Austin was supposed to text me his bet, but he didn't. So I'll just put that. I'll just link his bet into the video. So, all right, now for real. Peace out this time.